Hey, what's going on? Zach D Productions here, and I'm here with a list video for you guys. This is a top 5 list video, so this will be my first list video of 2024. As many of you know, we are officially now in 2024. So for this list, I'll be going over my top 5 favorite films from the year 2016. Now, I think 2016 was an okay year for movies. Not one of the greatest years for movies or anything, but I thought it was okay. There's been some good stuff to come out from that year. And this list is in no particular order, so let's go ahead and begin. Now, the first one I'm going to start off with here is London Has Fallen with Gerard Butler, which is the sequel to Olympus Has Fallen. And I still do prefer Olympus over London Has Fallen, but I think this is a pretty good sequel. It is. It does have a pretty good cast. Of course, you do have Gerard Butler back and Morgan Freeman as well. Some well-known actors. But yeah, pretty solid movie. I do dig the action, but again, just not as good as Olympus Has Fallen. But still, London Has Fallen. Pretty solid movie. Next, we have Jack Reacher, Never Go Back. And as you can see, this is the 2-movie collection DVD. And this comes with the first Jack Reacher and then the second one with Tom Cruise, Jack Reacher Never Go Back. Now, I do think that this is a good sequel, but it's just not as good as the first. It is not as good as the first Jack Reacher, but it's still a pretty good sequel, I would say. I think it still has all the elements that make Jack Reacher what it is. It definitely has you could say, more emotional story than the original, because it has a lot to do with Jack Reacher's daughter in that film. So, it does have some cool action, some good fight scenes and stuff. So, pretty solid. Not as good as the first, but still solid movie. So Jack Reacher, Never Go Back. So next we have Magnificent Seven with Denzel Washington, Ethan Hawke, and Chris Pratt. I watched this one recently, actually, and I was very surprised by it. This is actually a really good movie, really good. If you like Westerns, definitely check this one out, especially considering that there's a very solid cast in this movie. Again, with the actors that I just named. Denzel Washington and Ethan Hawke have worked together before. As many of you know, they were in the movie Training Day together, and I believe this was the first time that they've been in a movie together since then. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool to see them work together again in this film. And yeah, really cool action and stuff like that. So really solid modern Western flick. So the Magnificent Seven, really solid movie. And then next up we have The Mechanic Resurrection with Jason Statham. And Jason Statham is definitely one of the best action stars of all time, I would say. This is a really great movie. It's definitely a step up from the first Mechanic film. And I know that others would say the same thing. I do like the first one, but the second one I do think is way better. A lot of cool action scenes. Great performance from Jason Statham. I believe Michelle Yeoh and Jessica Alba are also in the movie. So, yeah. Overall, pretty good movie with some pretty good action and stuff like that. Yeah, there's a good cast here, with some big names here. So, if this sounds interesting to you, definitely check it out. So, Mechanic Resurrection with Jason Statham. All right, so lastly, we have Shin Godzilla, which, to be honest, it's not one of the best Godzilla movies. In fact, I would say this is one of the weaker Godzilla movies. But with saying that, I still do like the movie. It's still a pretty good movie. There are no bad Godzilla films. But yeah, if I were to rank all the Godzilla movies, this one would probably be somewhere in the lower half, to be honest. And this was actually Toho's comeback Godzilla movie. The last time that they've made a Godzilla movie was, I believe, Final Wars, which came out in 2004. So they wouldn't release another Godzilla movie till 2016, and it would be this one, Shin Godzilla. Yeah, I do like this movie, but again, it is one of the weaker Godzilla films in my personal opinion. One of my main complaints with the movie is there is a lot of boring moments to the movie, especially when you get to the human characters. The human characters are not really that interesting in this movie. I've said this before, but when it comes to human characters in a Godzilla movie, you know, those scenes can be very hit or miss. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. In this movie, they don't work as well. I feel like a lot of the human character scenes, they drag on for too long. I feel like a lot of them overstay their welcome and everything, but besides that, you know, it's pretty good. It's definitely uniquely directed, I think. The way that it was directed and the camera angles that they chose to use and everything, I thought that those aspects of the film were very unique. So, pretty solid Godzilla movie. Again, not one of the best by any means, but pretty solid. So, that is my list of my top 5 films from the year 2016. Feel free to let me know what you think. What are your favorite films from the year 2016? So on that note, thank you for watching. Have a good one.